Hey, and welcome to 2023. And thank you for stopping by my YouTube channel. Sorry, this is the middle of January, but obviously the Christmas period and everything else, I did have a few days off there. So as you know, I try and do a monthly stock and vendor update. I'm going to combine these two together, January and February. Reason being, we're heading towards Chinese New Year. And most of the stock that arrives here in Australia comes that supply route, and so we won't see a massive difference there over both January and February. So what are we seeing in the industry? Many people want to know, what are we seeing in the industry? We still see that move to a single pane of glass, everything managed from one location. So this channel is more about networking devices, so whether it be a firewall, a switch, an access point. Right, the holy grail of all of that is that you can manage it from one central location. All right, so we're seeing vendors in the firewall space buy companies that are helping them do that, or roll out new control panels. We're seeing upgrades to the WatchGuard cloud that can manage more of their devices and endpoints in one place. We've seen obviously last year switches from Sophos. There's some new devices coming from a number of the vendors in this space that will see them bring things together. All right, so what do we though see of the supply chain? All right, to me, this would be, PO switch desert. If anything, there are very few vendors that have a decent run of PoE switches. I would recommend that if you have got stuck with one specific vendor and that's your go-to, you're probably going to be fairly stuck over these next 3 or 4 months. So you might want to consider trying some of the alternatives out there that have devices that have enough power and a supply chain that works. So let's go through some of these vendors for you as a help. It's not a really in-depth, but it should give you some ideas. So let's start off with Ubiquiti, one of our popular vendors that we sell. PoE switches. Look, you can get the Pro 24 PoE, the Pro 48 PoE, and the USW 48 PoE. Those are pretty much the only switches that are consistently around at all. Maybe some of the time the USW Lite 16. Remember, this has only got like about 40 or so usable watts, even though it's got 16 ports, only 8 ports of PoE. So it has a very low wattage. So I'm going to call this, the switch desolation desert if you're looking for PoE switches. All right, you might have to look around. So that's the struggle. I don't think we're going to see much of a difference in this area probably before March or April. We're certainly not going to see it in January and February. Access points, pretty good in the access points. U6 Lite, U6 Long Range, U6 Pro, U6 In-Wall, U6 Enterprise. So some other upgrades of some of those coming before long with the U6 In-Wall Enterprise that we'll hopefully see before too long as well. So those are pretty good in supply. The old Wi-Fi 5s, the in-walls, very few of those. If you're just looking for like the AC in-wall, they come in and out every now and again. Certainly no Gen 1 switches. Really don't find any of those around at the moment. Maybe we might see those later in the year. So the Ubiquiti side of things, yep, we've got some new changes coming. I believe that there's some license plate recognition coming in the Protect series, the software upgrades there, which is pretty exciting. Obviously, we've got small stocks coming in weekly of the G4 Doorbell Pro. So if you're after that order in, we have the US or the European, depending on what we can get hold of, the UP Chime. We have the PoE to Ethernet adapter to power the Doorbell Pro as well. So we've got those. Look, Ubiquiti have released their what they call their OCD panels, which are their blanking plates, silver in color for the racks. If you've got a rack and you want to mount it out and make it all look similar. We've also got the empty patch panels for if you're using Keystone modules in there as well. So you'll see those on our website soon. So there are a few new bits. We've got some new coming hopefully before too long. The G5 range of cameras, Flex, Bullet, Pro, Dome. And watch out for some reviews as those become more public in due course. So Ubiquiti, switch is the problem. Most of the other stuff we are seeing move along fairly well. Just be prepared to wait or look for a different vendor for your switching side of things. Then we've got something like Ruijie, really popular. I'm going to see some more videos coming from us very shortly on this. We just got our Starlink dish yesterday at the point of recording this. So we're going to see a whole load of videos on how to set up with a Ruijie network. We will do it with Ubiquiti and other vendors as well. But on the point-to-point bridges, fantastic out the pack, 2-pack, really good value for money, super simple, great power, some fantastic outside access points. The ROP 6262, we've got customers doing 2 or 3 acres off one of these devices, which is absolutely incredible. All right, so supply chain is really good for those. Fantastic on the PoE power on their switches. So it's all centrally managed, no licensing. It's all done in the cloud, no on-site device needed. It's all free. So good supply chain, good options there. If you're looking for alternative vendor, if you've maybe normally been buying TP-Link or Aruba Instant On or Ubiquiti, do have a look at that. So let's have a look at TP-Link. TP-Link Armada. Again, the supply is still pretty solid there. Obviously, some restrictions on some of the PoE switches, but we do see those turn around fairly quickly. We will see probably a little bit of a delay over this Chinese New Year, so do stock up, but fairly solid. There are some upgrades coming to the Armada side of things, and again is a good solution if you have been used to Ubiquiti. The control panel is almost identical. You can get an on-site controller as well. So pricing is pretty good. Might be another alternative if you're getting stuck with Ubiquiti to have a look at. So that's TP-Link Armada. Meraki, Cisco Meraki. Again, as before, we haven't got this listed on our website yet at thetechgeeks.com, but do contact us if you are after them. We are a Cisco Select partner, so we can help you with that. We're seeing fairly long supply chain issues with that still. We're, some of the routers, some of the access points, some of the switches are at 100+ days, so you do need to shop around. Hopefully we'll start to see that improve. Certainly their allocation of licensing speed has increased, and we can see that sometimes within 24 hours, which used to be 4 or 5 days. So we're seeing some improvement there. Let's have a look at Aruba Instant On PoE switches. Similar issue that we see for all of the vendors, some struggles in getting those. They do come in and out, but only in small quantities. So do be aware if you're looking for Aruba Instant On to allow time. Generally the access points aren't too bad, but we are starting to see stock drop a little bit at this time of year. All right. So those are probably our main wireless vendors that we look at. Let's look at, if I remember any others that I've missed out, I'll come back to them at a moment. Or DrayTek. DrayTek solid. So if you're looking for DrayTek routers or access points, pretty good turnover. No real PoE switches, same issue as everybody else. But DrayTek, pretty good solid supply line there for you. So hopefully that's useful on those wireless side. Let's have a look at firewalls. Let's start with WatchGuard. WatchGuard are doing really, really well. Consistent. They've run through this entire period, come out of COVID really in a solid state. We're seeing some updates come now to their new wireless 6 access points. Hopefully in the next couple of weeks, beginning of February, we're going to see some significant updates to that wireless 6 range, and going to be able to see some of the threat hunting side of the wireless security arrive in those, which is what's been missing. So do order in fairly early on, but again, you're only looking at about 10-14 days turnaround, whether it be a physical hardware appliance or one of the access points. We've got some new firewalls coming from them this year in the next month or so, and we've got a small VPN device for remote offices as well. So pretty exciting, but some solid supply chain product lines from WatchGuard at this moment in time. SonicWall got some great offers on at the moment. If you're looking for the advanced protection suite, buy the renewal and you get the hardware for free. Supply is around about 10 to 14 days generally for most of those. There's very little hot stock kept in here in Australia. There are a few of the wireless access points starting to become available, and if you're after SonicWall switches, those can be got hold of as well. Not masses and masses of stock, but they do turn around quite well. Sophos supply is still pretty good. All right, in and out. Switches take a little bit longer. Some of the very low end ranges of the XGS take a little bit of time to arrive. but we are still seeing good, consistent runs in that whole supply chain for Sophos. So they have written this out pretty well. Often stay away from the wireless, integrated wireless firewalls if you want to get a faster delivery time. It's the same really for all of the vendors. Fortinet are the same. Really looking at the 40F, the 60F, 80 series and the 100F series. Supply is pretty good across all of those, maybe 10 to 14 days. Access points, we've had some customers who've got access points have been on order since about September last year. We're looking to see some of those shipment dates are now locked in for February, mid-February. So we're hoping starting to see some delivery of the access point side of things in a more regular supply line way with Fortinet, maybe from the middle of February. So maybe my March update will have a little bit more in there. Do buy the units without the subscriptions bound to them. That is the best way to do it. Then you can we can still work on some pricing for you. If you pop on over to the techgeeks.com, we will help you over there, but it does mean you get the unit. Don't go after a wireless. In fact, I don't think we've got the wireless models listed on our website at this moment in time because they are really difficult to get hold of. All right, so we have done Sophos, WatchGuard, SonicWall. We have covered Fortinet, Palo Alto, which we'll see arrive on our website shortly. We're concentrating on the entry-level units there. These are still on 1 month to 2 month delivery time. They're a very specific model, but I'm sure that those type of things will increase or improve, probably is the better way of putting it, as we go through this year. So I think it's the same real sum up across all of our vendors. That there are some issues in that PoE space. If you're looking just for access points, we're seeing much more freedom of shipment and stock, which is a great improvement. I want to just give a shout out to our winner of our December competition. You're going to see that winner down there in the comments of this video. So well done to you. You win $200 of Amazon vouchers or $250 of store credit at the techgeeks.com. We're again going to run a competition this month. We've got plenty of overstock of some of the Ubiquiti stuff. So we've got a promo running on our website there where you can win one of the G4 Instant Ubiquiti G4 Instant cameras for purchasing some of those items. Everybody gets entered into a draw. We'll run that draw probably in the middle of February. But again, this month, if you want to subscribe to this channel, thanks for those that got us over that 1,000 subscriber, which is fantastic. We've got loads more videos coming this year, which I'm really excited about. This is really all about an information pool. We want to help you as the person seeking out both stock and solutions to find what you're after. So if you want to subscribe, share it with your friends, comment. Lots of people have been commenting or asking for support. Please do that. All of those enter you into the competition to win again $200 of Amazon vouchers or $250 of store credit from the techgeeks.com. So please do subscribe or follow us on social, and I really appreciate you coming by, and hopefully this update has been useful for you.